Good morning, my dear students. Today we will read the chapter number 14, The Story of Prometheus, that is page number 114. Let's go for it. The ancient Greeks, like the Native Americans, had many stories to tell about their gods and goddesses, and also about early man. This is the story of how man received fire with the help of Prometheus and was punished for it by Jupiter. So this is a very interesting story. Okay, that human beings how got the fire, how before using we have to get it. So how they got, we will read in this chapter. In ancient Greek, like Native Americans, had many stories to tell about their gods and goddesses. Maybe a mythological story it is. Okay, let's go for the story. How fire was given to men. In those old times, there lived two brothers who were not like other men, nor yet like those mighty ones who lived upon the mountain top. So they are little bit different. Mighty ones, that means very huge and very great. They were the sons of one of those titans, means the gods, who had fought against Jupiter and been sent in chains to the strong prison house of the lower world. So their father was captured, okay, with the fighting with Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter was, or the Zeus, the king of the sky god of the earth, and they were sent to lower world. The name of the elder of these brothers was Prometheus, or the forethought, for he was always thinking of the future. Why this type of name, forethought? That is, he was thinking about the future and making things ready for what might happen tomorrow. And he is preparing for tomorrow always, or next week, or next year, or maybe in 100 years to come. That means he is always in advance to prepare things. The younger was called Epimetheus, or afterthought, for he was always so busy, as because he is maybe busy to doing his things, thinking of yesterday or last year or 100 years ago, that he had no care at all for what might come to pass after a while. So the wholly opposite of his brother. For some cause, Jupiter had not sent these brothers to prison with the rest of the Titans. So maybe for some reason they have not sent to the prison. Prometheus did not care to live amid, means among, the clouds on the mountain top. He was too busy for that. While the mighty folk were spending their time in idleness, drinking nectar and eating ambrosia, he was intent upon plans for making the world wiser and better than it had ever been before. So Prometheus was a little bit different. He was thinking, he was not wasting his time, but he was thinking about how he can make for the betterment of the world. He went out amongst men to live with them and help them, for his heart was filled with sadness when he found how very poor and wretched they were. So they were feeling pity for the common men, and he went there to live with them. He found them living in caves and in holes of the earth, shivering with the cold because there was no fire, dying of starvation for food, hunted by wild beasts. Wild beasts are hunting them and eating them by one another, the most miserable of all living creatures. Who are they? They are the human beings in that time. If they only had fire, said Prometheus to himself, they could at least warm themselves and cook their food. They could learn to make tools and build themselves houses. Without fire, they are worse off than the beasts. That means if human beings will get only the fire, he become little bit do his all works. Okay, without fire, they are become the worst of all the living beings, all living creatures. Who was thinking? Prometheus. Then he went boldly to Jupiter and begged him to give fire to men, so that they might have a little comfort through the long, dreary months of winter, that very scorching, that very biting cold in the months of winter. For that only he was going there to Jupiter to ask for the fire for the human beings, men. Not a spark will I give, said Jupiter. No, indeed. Why? If men had fire, they might become strong and wise like ourselves, and after a while, they would drive us out from our kingdom. So, Jupiter was getting fear. If men will get the fire, they will do everything and they will expel them from their kingdom. Let them shiver with cold and let them live like the beasts. It is best for them to be poor and ignorant, so that we might once may thrive and be happy. So leave them in their own condition. We will be good then after that. Otherwise, we will be in problem and danger. Prometheus made no answer. He had set his heart on helping mankind and he did not give up. He turned away and left Jupiter and his mighty company forever. So, as Jupiter was not giving the fire, he left the company of Jupiter, leaving the job from him. As he was walking by the shore of the sea, he found a reed, or as some say, a stalk of fennel growing. When he had broken it off, he saw that its hollow center was filled with dry, soft peach. That means one type of stick it was hollow. Okay, he was thinking to use of it something. Would burn slowly and keep on fire a long time. He took the long stalk and started towards dwelling of the sun in the far east. So he was thinking about to take fire with this dry type of stick wood. Mankind shall have fire in spite of the tyrant. Tyrant means here who? The Jupiter it is indicating. Who sits on the mountain top, he said. He reached the place of the sun in the early morning just as the glowing golden orb was rising from the earth and beginning his daily journey through the sky. That is, the sun is now rising. Towards that, he just reached there. He touched the end of the long reed to the flames, and the dry pith caught fire and burned slowly. So getting fire from the sun, he. Then he hastened that hurried back to his own land, carrying with him the precious spark hidden in the hollow center of the stalk. So he was hiding the spark of the sun, that the fire inside the hollow stick. He called out to the shivering men and built a fire for them. He showed them how to warm themselves by it and how to build other fires from the coals. Soon there was a cheerful blaze in every home, and men and women were warm and happy. So he taught them how to use the fire, okay, with the coal and other things, and people become very happy after that. They thanked Prometheus for the wonderful gift which he had brought to them from the sun. So they are giving thank you to Prometheus. It was not long before they learned to cook their food and eat like men instead of beasts. They began at once to leave of their wild and savage habits. They came out in the open air and the bright sunlight and were glad too of the new life that had been given to them. So they were very happy after getting that. They learned everything, how to live properly. Prometheus also taught them how to build houses of wood and stone, how to tame sheep, cattle, and make them useful. So everything that they are taking from whom? Prometheus. Prometheus was great and teaching them nicely. He also taught them how to plow and sow and reap and how to protect themselves from the storms of winter and the beasts of the woods. So everything, how to protect themselves also to the men he taught them. Then he showed them how to dig in the earth for copper and iron and how to melt the ore and how to hammer it into shape and fashion from it the tools and weapons which they indeed in a peace and war. So everything, each and every matter, Prometheus taught the human beings how to fight, how to get copper and iron from the inside the earth, how to make the tools and weapons at the time of peace and war. Everything you have to learn properly, my dear students, these things, that what the things Prometheus taught the human being one by one. Okay, put underline in your books and note down. When he saw how happy the world was becoming, he cried out, "A new golden age shall come, brighter and better by far than the old." So he's telling that a new era has started, a age has started, time has started, and everything become new. How diseases and cares came among men. We will know the story now. Things might have gone on a very happy indeed, and the golden age might really have come again, had it not been for Jupiter. One day, when he chanced to look upon the earth, he saw the fires burning, and the people living in houses, and the folks feeding on the hills, and the grain ripening in the fields, and all this made him very angry. So what Jupiter was not wanted, everything human beings now doing. So naturally Jupiter became very angry. "Who has done all this?" he asked. And someone answered, "Prometheus." So he is getting the name of the person who has done to that. "What?" The young Titan, he cried. Well, I will punish him in a way that will make him wish I had shut him up in the prison house with his kinsfolk, that all the other to his own people I will put them there in the lower earth. As for those Ponymen, let them keep their fire. I will make them 10 times more miserable than they were before they had it. So I will give them very bad punishment with the fire. It would be easy enough to deal with Prometheus at any time, and so Jupiter was in no great haste. Haste means a hurry about it. He made up his mind to distress mankind first, to put in problem mankind again. He thought of a plan for doing it in a very strange and roundabout way, in a quick way. To start with, he gave a lump of clay to the blacksmith. That means earth. One type of lump of clay means earth here. Vulcan. What was the name of the blacksmith? Vulcan. And ordered him to mold it in form of a woman. Vulcan did as he was bidden, and when he had finished the image, he cried it up to Jupiter, who was sitting among the clouds with all the mighty folk around him. That all the other peoples he was sitting there, and he made a woman, and the blacksmith is there. It was nothing but a mere lifeless body, but the great blacksmith had given it a form more perfect than that of any statue that had ever been made. So the blacksmith has made that woman statue very nicely. Okay. Come now, said Jupiter, let us all give some godly gift to this woman. And he began by giving her life. So who has given the life to the woman? The Prometheus himself. The Jupiter himself. Then the others came in their turn, each with a gift for the marvelous creature that to the omens it is indicating. One gave her beauty, another a pleasant voice, another good manners, another a kind heart, another skill in many arts, and lastly, at last what? Someone gave her curiosity, that interest to know about things. They called her Pandora, which means the all gifted, because she had received gifts from all them. So what is the meaning of Pandora? That who is getting gift from all others. Pandora so beautiful and so wondrously gifted that no one could help loving her. So all love her very much, as she was very beautiful. When the mighty folk had admired her for a time, they gave her to Mercury, a light-footed, who laid her down the mountainside to the place where Prometheus had his brother were living and toiling that moving for the good of mankind. So they put the woman to them, to Prometheus and his brother. He made Epimetheus first and said to him, Epimetheus, Jupiter has sent this beautiful woman to be your wife. So he is giving it to the woman to Epimetheus, the brother of Prometheus. Prometheus had often warned his brother to beware of any gift that Jupiter might send, for he knew that the mighty tyrant could not be trusted. So Jupiter was not that type of person to be trusted. But when Epimetheus saw Pandora, how lovely and wise she was, he forgot all warnings and took her home to live with him and be his wife. Pandora was very happy in her new home. Even Prometheus, when he saw her, was pleased with her loveliness. So, with the beauty and the charming attitude, Prometheus and Epimetheus, they forgot everything. Okay, and accepted her nicely. Pandora had brought with her a golden casket, which Jupiter had given her at parting, when she was departing from there, telling her that it held many precious things. However, wise Athena, the queen of the air, had warned Pandora never to open it, nor look at the things inside. So who warned her? The Athena, the queen of the air, not to look inside the casket. They must be jewels, Pandora said to herself, and then she thought of how they would add to her beauty if only she could wear them. Why did Jupiter give them to me if I should never use them, nor so much as look at them? She asked. So Jupiter has given me, so I have to open and see. Otherwise, why Jupiter will give me? She is asking herself, because curiosity is there. He was gifted earlier. The more she thought about the casket, the more curious she was to see what was in it, and every day she took it down from itself and felt the lid and tried to peer inside it without opening it. And she was not getting too much encouragement to open it, but little bit she is opening and looking inside it, what it is inside. Why should I care for what Athena told me? She said. I will not care, Athena, what she has told me. At last, she is not beautiful, and jewels would be of no use to her, I think. So she was thinking that that is not useful for Athena. Maybe that's why she is telling me not to open it. I think that I will look at them. At any rate, Athena will never know. Nobody else will ever know. So I will open it secretly. Nobody will know about it. She opened the lid very slightly just to peep inside. All at once there was a whirring, rustling sound, that a new kind of sound it is. And before she could shut it down again, out flew 10,000 strange creatures with death-like faces and gaunt and dreadful forms such as nobody in all the world had ever seen. So they are very ugly type of, okay, and death-like, they have the faces, okay, thin and bony type of their attire, their figure, okay, they are very new to the world. They fluttered for a little while about the room. They were moving here and there in the room, and then flew away to the fine dwelling places wherever there were homes of men. These creatures were diseases and cares. Up to that time, mankind had not experienced any kind of sickness, nor felt any troubles of mind, nor worried about what the morrow might bring forth. Morrow means tomorrow. That means these are the diseases and other things. People never before felt those diseases earlier, but from now onwards, as these creatures are entered to the homes of the other people, so they will face all the things. These creatures flew into every house, and without one seeing them, nestled down in the bosoms of men and women, children, putting an end to all their joy. So they are going to their homes to end up their joy. Ever since that day, they have been fleeting and creeping unseen and unheard, bringing pain, sorrow and death into every household. So they are growing up day by day, and they are bringing problems to each and every house. But one thing remained at the bottom of the box to lessen the misery of mankind, that is hope. That means only one good thing at the end of the box that was hope. Written by what here? James Baldwin. So my dear students, up to here our chapter is. Read the summary what I have provided you in the PDF nicely. Again and again read the story also and the summary. And after that go for the question answers and word meanings. Learn it by heart. Thank you.